Hi there, welcome back. So I picked up a couple drums like these bongos, and I thought I was getting a good deal on a major score, and I was going to flip them or give them to a buddy of mine who's a drummer. And turns out they're just pretty much what I paid for them, they're worth. And I've got no use for them. My buddy who's the drummer has actually a lot of drums, let's just say. So I was looking at them and I was thinking, well, what can I do with it, right? And I think I'm going to turn it into a floor lamp. But it's not quite furniture grade yet. I believe this is mahogany. And I do like the wood. Pretty crusty, but who isn't when you get this old? And I think strip it down, buff up the hardware. I believe this is aluminum. So we'll get that buffed up with some Scotch-Brite. I don't know, there was duct tape on here or something. It's just, they've had a rough life. And commence with sanding. Let's do this. Disassembly completed. Yes, these were held in with little nails. It's aluminum. I think it'll buff up nicely though. This chrome-plated hardware, I think it just needs some cleaning. A little TLC. Got my bag of goodies here. Don't lose those, man. And there's an old floor lamp, and it had some nice looking wood on it, which attracted me to trying to save it and repurpose it from the thrift store. But the portion of the base here was particle board with plastic trim, edge banding. It was just hideous. And I had all sorts of different ideas, and I kept the hardware anyway. And I think I'm going to do something like this. So this will come up out of the table. We'll have the better lighting. Yes. Have that come up right out of the table there. And have a nice lampshade for it. Kind of mid-century modern is what I'm going for. I'm going to just do this in a light finish. This lampshade, I like it. Hang on. So this reminds me of something made just a few years before I was born, probably. But I like it, and it's got this funky texture on it, and I do like the way the light looks coming through this. So I think that's going to be the hat for it. I don't know if you like videos like this, because I'm just kind of a random person, right, doing random stuff. But I also have a couple other lamps here, and this one, oh my God, it is heavy, and the lamp base in it is huge. It's not your standard lamp base. This is huge. I have to do some research to find out what era this is from, but like they say, it has good bones. I really like the detail here, and I like the creamy yellow. I think that's going to come back. And then next to it here is, again, this is glass. I'm not sure if this portion lights up. It's a heavy duty piece of steel stamping this column-like post and this clock, Mastercrafters. It's got the 3 candelabra, even though they're not candelabra, bulb bases for the lamps, and that lampshade up here at top. There's a replacement cord. Those come in handy. Anyway, I'm going to redo these also. So if you want to see something like that, when the video is up for those, check back, like, follow, subscribe, and you'll get an update when those will be on the interweb. I really like it though. I could see Perot having this in that schwanky 1930s apartment he lived in. Here's to you, Perot. One restored lamp coming up. This one too, nice move. Really nice classics. I ended up using what I had left over from this outdoor project, the spar varnish, and I do like how it covers mahogany, and I think it turned out nice. Maybe 1 or 2 coats with that. I barely have enough left to do another coat, but should be complementary color to the existing wood here, which I don't believe is mahogany. No matter. Onward. So I think the next thing I need to think about is making the disc to sit over the top here. Should it be some light colored wood like birch, or should we use something, maybe I could glue up some of this oak. I could use some birch or maple paneling. I could, let's see, what do we got here? I do have some mahogany sticks right there. And I could glue that up and then cut the circle out of that. I want to think about it a little bit. Got some different plies here. Could make a disc and then veneer it with that. Could make it out of poly or glass. So, what would you do? Something durable, something I can set a sweaty beer can on, or a champagne glass. Kidding. How about the champagne glass? Another thing, this aluminum is just scuzzy, maybe is the word for it. This is the bottom ring, it's the worst. I did some messing around with kind of a Scotch-Brite knockoff. These do work better at higher speeds, such as in an air tool. I don't have enough CFM or volume in my compressor to do that. And it may be too coarse. These brown ones are generally the coarser of these 3M polishing discs. I think I will continue to work on this. I will find a solution. Those will look nice and polished. And I think that's what I will do while the varnish is drying. We tried both of these mechanical methods. The Scotch-Brite pad, which is coarse. I didn't have a blue one. I had the cylindrical one, also in the coarse. It didn't do a good job. Well, this is also coarse. I actually use this Scotch-Brite pad for removing, actually it was removing the rust from the table saw here with the crud cutter. Anyway, attention over here, students. Kidding. So, this is without any polishing. God, I don't know if the camera can pick that up. Anyway, just the dings, dents, and scratches, and dirt and oxidization. I want to remove it and just give a more uniform finish, which is here. This is before. This is after. And yes, man cannot depend upon power tools for everything. So just a lot of this will give the sufficient results, I believe. And we shall have more of a satin finish. And it basically will just disrupt the scratches and dings and dents and debris that has been wedded to this aluminum. Well, it is winter temperature setting on. Warmest I could get it in the shop here last night was around 52, 54 degrees. Still not 100% cured, but I have other things to work on. I got the drum head hardware cleaned up. I need to actually wire brush here, I realized after I buffed off the chrome plating. I'll do the same thing with the fasteners. They're a little dirty and matte finished. And then the other thing is working out some kind of a plan. Come over here with me. So this is the drum head. Again, I'm not a drummer, even though I love rock and roll drum music. This is an animal hide, probably cow, and I'm gonna poke a hole through here with a drill, and it needs reinforcement. So, measured it. It's 11 3/4 inch on the inside here. I have a piece of scrap wood from an old piece of furniture. While it may look like something expensive, it's actually a very thin veneer over a particle board, something akin to a Kia. I'll get the trammel. We'll draw a circle here. Head over to the bandsaw, get that cut out. Use some wood glue. Get it glued up in here. I think the bonding between this being on the surface and this is the substrate should be okay. Because the lamp itself, remember, is the metal rod going up from the base, passing through here. There'll be a nut here sandwiching the base of the metal rod as it goes up through here. So I think it'll be rigid enough. So we'll be using lay down trammel. I actually prefer this to the previous trammel I had, which was similar, clamped to a ruler, but everything stood up and it was just a little difficult to manage. And this one is pretty nice. So it was 11 3/4, half of 11.75 is 5.875, 5 7/8. Setting this up, what I do is there's a small spiky point here. See that guy? Make sure he's on the same alignment as my 0 point. And I just picked arbitrary points for the base. Doesn't really matter to me. Of course, you can add these to any length of ruler, whatever you need. I have a 24-inch one like this to start, and it just a good ruler. This is woodworking. Anyway, yep, got it set up. Got our circle drawn out here. Bit hard to see, even for me. I guess you can actually see it in the glare there. I'm looking at the camera. So go to the bandsaw and buzz this out. See how steady I am at following a line. And then we'll come over and we'll glue it up and we'll continue moving forward. All right. Let's do this. Alrighty, give her a quick wipe down with the old IPA. Yeah, not the one we drink, guys. That's Indian Pale Ale. This is isopropyl alcohol, 91%, guaranteed to dry out your skin. If you're sensitive to things like that, glove up. I recommend it. Of course, if you can find any gloves, actually they're back in stock. $15 a box. Get yourself 100 of them, babies. Do you ever count stuff like that? Make sure you're getting that exact number of toothpicks or the number of gloves in a box. I'd be curious to see if anybody actually does things like that. I'm sure they do. I mean, I got OCD, but I try to keep it a secret. I guess it's out now. Oh, yeah. There we go. You can never have enough glue. What about the glue squeeze-out theory? Anybody buy that? Think you can clamp something tight enough that you push all the glue out, at least the functional degree of glue, and you actually lose your strength and work holding? I kind of don't think you do, but I'm not a gluologist, so who knows? Some vice here. It's good to have some vices in your life. Let that cure. All the bits are coming together. Just gotta wait for the glue to dry on the lid, or drum head, I guess it's called, and pop a hole in there, and then figure out the assembly. Still not 100% clear on what I'm going to do there, but we shall see what we shall see when we see what we shall see as I peered into the abyss. Hey, she's coming together. Got the hardware mounted, putting the rings on. Class, do you see what I see? Order of operations. Mr. Badlands. Well, I don't grade myself A, B, C, D, or F. I just, well, mistakes made, undo mistakes. I corrected them. Never hold mistakes against anyone. If they admit they make them, and move forward. Food to be covered. You see how this is constructed? Very much similar to the whiskey barrels or the old school wooden buckets. Get the wood slats that were made. I wonder if the person who made these is also called a cooper. That's what they call the folks who make these slats on a barrel. But nice. Really looking forward to getting it together. The top of it is really quite filthy. I cleaned it up, and remember we put the wood piece in and glued it. That turned out fine. I wanted to put a quick, see how quick it dries when it's 52 degrees in here. I put a coat of varnish on the drum lid. It's basically a cowhide, but I wanted to be able to set sweaty beer cans on there and whatever, be able to clean it up, not destroy it. So it's coming together. I have another one of these, and depending upon how this turns out, it may make another, but the methodology will be the same, so no need for a video for that. If you do have any questions about this, hey, fire away. Just don't. So here we have the drum head, and I left a bit of the patina I actually sanded that with 120 or 220, and then cleaned it with isopropyl alcohol. And I didn't want to remove everything, so it looked like it was a new drum head. That's not the feel I'm going for. We got the piece of 3/4 inch wood mounted in there. We'll pop a hole in the center of it for the hardware to go through. It will be mounted thusly. This head ring will go on top of it. Kind of looks like a king's crown. And I think I'm doing something wrong here. So I'll deal with that later because this isn't dry yet. But you can see the hooks here. Those hooks. Hook here. So when we get it together, that's how it will look. And I will let that dry a little bit more before the assembly. And of course I gotta pop the hole in the top of it. Well, it's the next day. And next step in the process is to mount the lamp innards. The lampshade will go here. The rest of the fixture is waiting to get installed. This will be coming up through the drum head axle where the red clamp is. It will reside on that surface. We need to pop a hole in there. So let's see, what size is it? Let's see. All right, 406 thousandths. 13/32. So something handy to have in your workshop or anywhere. You can get these on a pocket card or anything. I've had this for years, but it's 13/32. You see here. If you want to go with the standard, go 1/32 of an inch over to 0.4219 or just 27/64 is what we will use to pop a hole in the drum head. And how big is this? From here to here. Yeah, we got 13.5 inches, and that will not work in the drill press because let's see if that will work in the drill press. Nope. We have approximately 6.5 inches from the chuck to the column, and that is the throat of the drill press. Something to keep in mind when you're buying a drill press. Even this floor model here, ignore those clamps, they'll be finding a home soon. You can tilt the table 90 degrees and drill in something from the floor up, which you can get a good amount to the throat, which is, I might as well just tell you, about 44 inches if you had a stubby drill bit. So that's good. And on the bandsaw, the throat, this is supposed to be a 14-inch bandsaw. There's a guard here for the return side of the blade. Not taking that off. I like my appendages intact. So it's not quite 14 inches. We're looking at like 13 5/8. Again, it's just all things to keep in mind when you're going to do something like this. Here we will use the cordless DeWalt drill with the 13/32 drill bit attached to it. All right, get this hole popped in here and commence assembly. Alright, so we're looking at the bottom of the drum lamp, and I created a bridge here to tie in the threaded rod, actually it's a hollow threaded rod, which goes clear to the top of the lamp. With a little bit of glue and some 18-inch brads, I just tied it in here. Should be plenty to hold it. This is what it looks like on the top half here. We're all pretty much good to go. Maybe paint this. Also the brass colored harp that goes on top of it, which I can drop in right now. Slide those doodads down. Doodads. And let's set it up and see how it looks. Grab a bulb, energize, and rock and roll. Well, the garage is hardly a place to show off a lamp, but I do need to get the correct shade for it. I'll do some other pictures of this once I get it somewhere without so much chaos in the background. Definitely needs a mid-century modern shade. Where to find one of those? I think my wife will help me with that search. She's very good at finding things like that. She's a very good eye. All right. I think it turned out not too bad. That's probably too bright, but yeah, I mean, there's good surface area here. Obviously, it's not a magazine rack. I was thinking about in here. Now, I have another one of these, and I can also modify this. Be pretty handy for a secret compartment, or if you're into adult beverages, I guess. Could also have it swing open. The shelf would swing out. Be some room in there for a little speakeasy looking thing. Otherwise, it's all right. It's, you know, it's different. An old drum, a $3 broken floor lamp. I still have enough parts from it to make another one. I would have to get obviously another receptacle. The threaded tube, it's like 3/8 pipe or something with a pipe thread on it. And I do have another wood spool, the same geometry, and it's actually the same height from the drum head to here. Now I don't have another drum head, so the other top I could either make out of birch ply and enjoy the look of the ply edge, or recess the ply inside the drum head, or glue up some boards and joint them and have a nice solid mahogany and maple striped top or something. But I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I hope I was able to share something that you enjoyed. I really appreciate you watching, and have a pleasant rest of the day. Goodbye.